and sinking sand.
Favored me, now safe am I.
And he's given me power to stand, power to live right. Yes, he's given me another chance, power to talk right. I sought the Lord.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. San Antonio and global listeners, we're back. We're back. Coming to you out of San Antonio, Texas. Oh, we're going to Fort Worth, Texas today. Oh, we have a young lady that she's doing some awesome things, and we're going to hear about her because, woo, for some folks, it will knock you off your feet. We're talking about none other than Miss Teresa Tarpley. I hope I said that right.
You said it good.
Thank you for being my guest today, Miss Tarpley. And oh, hold on. You there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Thank you for
I'm
being
here.
today. Share. We're going to jump right into this. Share with us a little bit about you, because you're in Texas.
Yes. I'm Teresa Tarpley from Fort Worth, Texas. I am author, producer. I have a production company named after my dad, High Shot Productions. I'm an evangelist. I'm a certified nurse's assistant, been a nurse's assistant for over 20 years. And I have a couple of nonprofit organizations as well.
Okay. Now, share with us a little bit about your nonprofit organizations.
My first nonprofit organization is titled Heartbroken, Now Healed and Delivered Ministries. We go out and we feed and clothe the homeless, host job fairs for people with and without criminal backgrounds, host youth extravaganzas for troubled teens. We host nursing homes, events, and we just go back out into the community and support the less fortunate.
Okay, that's number one. Number two.
Number two, I have a transitional home. I'm looking for property, and it's titled "I Am Delivered Transitional Housing for Women Coming Out of Jail, Prison, Domestic Violence, and Homeless," and teaching on how to become more productive members of society and be family oriented and get back up on their feet and start new levels in life.
Oh yes, I had an experience in being able to work in the jail for quite a while. And for many people, they go in, they come out, but somehow they go back in because they don't know how to deal with society. Once you're locked up and been locked up for some time, your whole mind changes. And the amazing part about it is when you're locked up, depends on what floor you're on, because the higher you get, the more challenging it becomes, and they have to become like surroundings.
Yes. And not so much as that, a lot of people become comfortable in that same zone. And when they get out, they're not used to being productive members of society, getting out of work, just like a drug dealer. A drug dealer is used to making that money, that fast money, and don't know which way to go. And they used to getting quick money. And I always encourage people, I don't care if you picking up cans in the middle of the street, making 50 cents an hour. 50 cents an hour is better than $1,000 in 5 minutes. Because you're not just affecting you, you're affecting your loved ones too. And it's funny because I have a book that's out titled Mother of Inmates.
Okay. Yeah, I had a experience, just going to tap on this just a little bit, but I was getting ready to do an outreach, and I was in the jail down in the hospital area, and one of the detainees heard me, and he broke out crying. And I turned and asked him, "What's the matter?" And he said, "I just did 36 years and got out, and I couldn't find a job. They wouldn't hire me. So I went back to doing what I used to do for my family and got busted. And here you are talking. I wish I had met you. So there is a need for what you're doing.
And I always, I thank God for a lot of connections that's out here. People that just don't know, like TD Jakes have a program called the THROWEN program, and I network with them. And I was one of the substance abuse counselors at the THROWEN program. And they help people with backgrounds get housing, help them get jobs, and teach them how to be family oriented. There's another program that I network with, owned by Andre Johnson, and it's called the First Stop Reentry Initiative. They help people. It doesn't matter if they're sex offenders. They help them get up on their feet and get housing too. Whatever this program don't do, the other program does. It's out here. People just don't know. And it's funny because I'm getting ready to start another organization, and it's going to be called the Important Family Matters, because there are so many men in prison for raping. They didn't commit the crime. There are mothers that are coaching their daughters on how to lie about their age. And if they feel like they can't get no money after men, then they're going to go and say, oh, he raped my daughter. We are going to give these young girls lie detector tests, and we're going in these homes and find out what's going on, because it's real out here.
Hold up, wait a minute. Let us put some Jesus in this.
Yes.
It's time for a change.
It is.
Change. Because so many of us do not realize that God, when God created us, the ingredients that he put within us was to be successful. And in being successful, what? He giveth us power. The word says he's given us power to create wealth. It's very important for us to know who our surroundings is. So it's ones like you, ones like me, ones like Bishop T.D. Jakes. That one person can change a whole field.
That's right. That is so true. Because see, I was a young girl that was lying about my age. Even though my mom and my dad wasn't coaching me on how to lie about my age, but I was seeing everybody else getting love, and they looked like they was getting love, and I wanted love because there was no love in a home. That's my first book, Heartbroken, Now Healed and Delivered, about me, how my mom and dad treated me. My mom went through domestic violence. My brother got murdered behind weed papers when I was a little girl. My mom caused division between me and my other brother that's alive because she was married to his dad, and now my dad. And I've been gang raped, bullied, hit by a car, locked in the trunk of a car. I was prostituting at an early age. Yes, smoking cigarettes like at 12. And I used to be on crack cocaine. I had a baby born addicted to crack cocaine. September the 19th made 29 years I've been clean from crack. Next month, I will be clean from cigarettes 14 years. So I can't go back and tell nobody else how to overcome if I would have never went through it either. Even like nursing homes. I've been in the nursing field for so long, and it's the reason why God allowed me to have a compassionate heart to work in the nursing field. A lot of people think people get dementia due to their age. No. People think a person's in a nursing home due to their age. No. Dementia is drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, is brain poisoning. Even the things that you take for suicide is brain poisoning. Stress can be brain poisoning. I encourage people, if you feel like you're stressed, get out, go walk. If you don't know what to say to God, he hears your tears. Don't feel weak because you're crying. He hears them and he honors your tears. Even with like R&B singers, rappers, movie producers, people that are doing stage plays and writing books and stuff, those are good therapy, and it's getting out it's purging a lot out that's been buried inside of you for so long. Even after I've been clean all the years that I have been clean from drugs, I still began to write, and that writing, it was so much buried inside of me. Drugs, alcohol, and cigarettes is a number. It covers up a lot of pain from your hurt of molestation and stuff. And imagine you seeing somebody, or you run into somebody that molested you, that beat you. I mean, it was a hard battle, but God will put people in your life to show you not what's in them, but what's in you. You still got unforgiveness and hatred toward what they did to you. You ain't affecting them, you affecting you.
Now, you done been through. Put in a trunk, rape, beat, on drugs. He looked beyond all your fault. But the amazing part about it is that you don't hold on to your past. You're looking at your future.
And you know what? I got a 4th book out. Exactly what you said. Ain't no future in the back.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Now,
ain't no future in the back.
Your book. We keep talking about your book. How can one go to that book? How can one get that book?
My books are available on Amazon and Kindle. They all are on Amazon and Kindle.
Okay. And once again, what's the name of the books?
Heartbroken, Now Healed and Delivered. Why Y'all Treat Me So Bad. Mother of Inmates. Ain't No Future in the Back. Everything's Out in the Open, and Withdrawals.
Woo!
And I'm writing book 7, titled Singly Married.
Now, I've got to ask it. You are RN?
I'm a CNA, Certified Nurse's Assistant.
CNA. Lifting folks.
Yes.
Being there to help.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Then you have not 1, not 2, but 3 501c3 businesses.
Well, I have 2 501c3s so far. Yes. But I also have a business. My business name for a staffing agency is going to be for people with criminal backgrounds anointed to do a staffing.
Now, because you don't look like what you've been through. Yes, you look successful. I got to say, you're awesome and amazing. How do you do it?
I just go through it. I mean, it's funny because, you know, I have to be obedient and do what God wants me to do, you know. And the thing what I really want to encourage somebody and tell them, if you find time to do things that was negative, find time to do things that are positive.
Now you're talking about faith. Faith to move forward.
Yes.
Faith to think positive. Because negative will cause you to go down.
Yes.
But and the word says, I will lift my head up to the hills, from which cometh my help. Because my help cometh from God. So you're actually sharing. God is our helper in the time of trouble. Yes. And regardless of what we've been through, forget about the past, but the future belongs to you.
Yes, and the Bible also said that forget those things which are behind and press toward the mark. And I encourage everybody, and I encourage myself a lot too, is that the Bible said, if you resist the devil, he'll flee. And I always think about when I got out for drugs, when I was on drugs, did nobody call me and ask me if I wanted to get high? But as soon as I got clean for 30 days, everybody was calling me and I was nervous and scared, and they would call me, Teresa, you want to get high? You want to trick? You want to date? No. 60 days. Teresa, you want to get high? You want to date? No. 90 days. Teresa, you want to get high? No. And I kept resisting him, and he fled. He fled. Even with cigarettes. I told somebody yesterday, it was harder for me to quit smoking cigarettes than it was for me to quit smoking crack cocaine. But I found positive over it. You know, when I would wake up in the morning, I always want a cigarette. I chewed me some Winter Fresh gum and some peppermints. When I was driving, I wanted to have me a cigarette. I cleaned my ashtray out and put some blessing oil in it. And I ended up just putting some peppermints in my car. When I get mad and frustrated and stuff, I wanted a cigarette. Nope, I would take off walking around the park, venting out, chewing gum. And then I also ate healthy because your appetite would increase, but I started eating more healthier. So, and one time I ended up quitting and I ended up going back. And then it got to the point where I was going to a corner store getting cigarettes, you know, on them, getting cigarettes on credit, smoking like $100 or so a week, and it was deep. So the more you go back, the worse it's going to get. If a person was to quit doing drugs and they go back, it's going to get worse. I started smoking 2 or 3 cigarettes at a time, 3 or 4 at a time, But that last time, I ain't going back.
Oh. Those of you that are listening right now, if you're in DeSoto, Lancaster, Dallas, Wilma Hutchins, if you're looking for help, if you're ready to make a change in your life, this is the person to call. How can they call you?
They can call me at my number, 817-210-7517. If I don't answer, they can leave me a text message and I will most definitely respond to their call. Or they can email me at minister.tarpley@yahoo.com.
There's no excuse. There is no excuse. God has a way. The word tells us that.
Wait a minute, hold on. It's funny that you said that there's no excuse, because that's my slogan for my ministry. There's no excuse not to move forward because God's got my back.
God's got your back. And if God has your back, who's ever
He got
when you
got their back.
mind to make a change, God will have your back too.
Yes.
Sharpens iron. How can two walk together unless they agree?
That's right.
So if you're ready to agree and move forward, she's the one to call. Share with us once again how they can call you.
817-210-7517.
Right in Fort Worth, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Yes. Now, you're a minister. How long have you been ministering?
I think I started maybe like around 2012. Yes.
Now, how did you start ministry?
I actually just started, I started going to church and I took a minute, went to classes and stuff. And then a lot of people started asking me to come and speak at little different events and stuff. And then God gave me the name of my outreach ministry before then, around 2010. I say 2010. I can't remember. It's been a while. But he gave me the title of my outreach ministry, and I got with that, and I just started going out into the streets and even going back to drug rehab centers that I was admitted in and speaking to people, and even going to homeless shelters, even the CPS office when I was had cases open. I go and speak to people. I go everywhere. I do a lot of outreach.
And that's very much needed. Our time is almost up, but it's amazing. What you were, you came out.
Yes.
And God renewed your mind, your heart, your soul. But he didn't just leave you renewed. He's allowed you to go back into the highways and byways to reach the lost at any cost.
Yes. Yes.
As we prepare to leave, share with us your social site.
My social site, I'm actually only on Facebook right now under Teresa Tarpley. And you can just hit me up on Facebook, and I'll accept.
And any last words before we go?
No, I just want to thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your show.
Okay. And we look forward to talking to you once again.
Yes.
This is how we do it on Rhema Gospel Express, reaching around the globe. Once again, we've been talking to Teresa, to be on the safe side.
Hello, my name is Teresa Tarpley, and this is my story. Hello, my name is Teresa Tarpley. I am from Fort Worth, Texas, born and raised in the Butler Housing Project community. The Butler Housing community was my favorite childhood neighborhood. Even though we were poor, we didn't realize we were poor. We grew up on government cheese, and it was just fun. You know, I never could be able to leave off of the front porch, but I enjoyed just watching other friends outside being able to play and laugh and have fun. And it was just never a dull moment over there. It was just so much fun, so much peace. It was so family oriented in that community. I just always remember that, you know, certain people that would try to come play with me, she'll tell them to get off her porch, or she would always tell me, you better not leave off of the porch, and I had to just stay on the porch. I could never leave off. Every now and again I could play with certain people, but a lot of times I couldn't. And, you know, and it used to always just make me feel like, what's wrong? Why I can't never leave off of the porch? Why I can't never, you know? But even though just being there, and I had to be on the porch, it was more peaceful than after we left from over there. My mother was a very sweet person, but she had her ways of being mean. My father at that time, I never really had a chance to get to know him. I knew of him. Every time I would call his mechanic shop, people will always tell me he's not there, or sometimes when I grew up and I would go and visit family members, and he may come around, he may not, but we never had a relationship with each other. He always pushed me away. My dad confirmed to me that I found out we had 17 siblings, but I found out that I have a brother out here. I don't know who my brother is, and I don't know all of my sisters. We're all separated. But my mom, I only remember two brothers. My years as a teenager, I always wanted to just grow up and just be away. I got tired of staying at home. I got tired of all the domestic violence. I wanted to have some love. And just being away from the home, you know, it was no love at home. Just watching my mom go through domestic violence, and you think that she moved from the projects and get married and move into a house with a man, 4-bedroom and 2-bath, everything was gonna go right, but it didn't. They share a separate phone line, separate refrigerators. It was separate time to eat. If we didn't eat before dark, couldn't eat, didn't bathe before dark, couldn't bathe. And I just got tired of it. I wanted to have love, and I watched all my friends, you know, getting pregnant at an early age, and I felt like, well, shoot, if I have a baby, then I can make him love me. And I just started just getting away and hanging out with people, and, you know, there was smoking cigarettes and smoking weed and drinking every now and again, and I wanted to fit in because I wanted some love. It was no love at home, and I didn't know who I was. I was like a jigsaw puzzle, just trying to fit in and figure out who I was. Hanging out with people that was snorting cocaine, smoking weed, skipping school, drinking, lying about my age, and then I ended up eventually, you know, from smoking weed led to popping pills, went to snorting cocaine every now and again, to snorting heroin every now and again, but none of those was my swag until I got with that crack. That crack or weed, it was something else. The first time I smoked it, I think I tried it when I was probably like 16 or 17 years old. I was lying saying, oh, I'm 19 and I'm 20, and because I was doing everything everybody else was doing, just trying to fit in, but I was actually lying. I wasn't. And, you know, and was prostituting at an early age and just doing everything I could to fit in. Drugs numbed a lot of my feelings. It cleansed, not cleansed, but it just covered me up. It was like a comforter. Once I smoked the crack, I didn't feel no more pain. I didn't feel no depression. I didn't feel lonely, didn't feel weary. It just covered up, it just numbed me. It was like a comforter. You know, I didn't think about a lot of painful and hurtful things that had happened to me. But when the drugs were gone, all that old stuff started coming back. When I was on drugs, I didn't bathe. I didn't comb my hair. I slept around with whoever. It didn't matter if it was a man or woman to get dope. I didn't know my self-worth. They can give me a half a piece of crack. It didn't matter if it was a $2 piece or a $5 piece or a $10 piece. I did whatever I had to do to get it. And half of the people that I slept with, they didn't use condoms. Yeah, I affected in the drugs didn't just affect me. It affected other people. I didn't just affect me. I affected other people that was around me. I had a baby that was born addicted to crack cocaine. I treated other children like they were on crack. If I didn't eat before dark, I couldn't eat. If I didn't bathe before dark, I couldn't bathe. And if I didn't bathe, they didn't bathe. Let me correct myself. If I didn't bathe, they didn't bathe. If I didn't eat, they didn't eat. I would go to WIC and get milk for my baby, and every time I go get WIC, I would sell it. Or I would call my mom and say, Mom, I need some diapers for my baby. She'll bring me diapers, and I'll take the diapers and sell them for $5, or try to trade them in at the store, you know, just to get me some dope. Whatever it took to get dope, that's what I did to get it. That was my best friend. He's the one that taught me how to read. He taught me how to spell. He taught me a lot of things. And I remember he was in Job Corp, and I would write him letters and try to write in cursive and acting like I was smart. And he seen when he came home I wasn't smart, and he began to teach me a lot of things. And I mean, he was just an encouraging person to me. He was always just there for me. My brother got murdered when we moved. It seemed like when we moved from the Butlers, nothing good happened. My stepdad didn't like us, and he put my brother out, and I found out that him and my stepdad was pulling guns out on each other. And my brother went back to the Butlers to visit, and a dude said my brother stole his weed papers and stabbed my brother in the back and killed him. And after that, it was like I didn't have nobody that was there to love and care for me no more. He was gone. And even watching certain TV shows, I couldn't take to watch them because it was so painful. Just to watch them, I would just cry so much. I think I did drugs. I started, just not with crack, but just with weed and everything. I was probably like 14, 15 when I first started trying it, or maybe 13, somewhere along in there. But it took, that crack is what really took me down. And I remember September the 19th, 1994, I was real depressed. I came home, hadn't eaten and hadn't bathed in days, and I was just crying. And I had met a lady in Narcotics Anonymous, and I called her and I said, I'm tired of getting high, just crying. And she said, baby, if you're really sincere about not getting high no more, she said, take your bath and eat you something. And she said, get down on your knees and tell God you want to surrender, but you don't know how. And I haven't smoked crack anymore since then. Well, a lot of them, I was always told, in the streets, they always say, once a dope fiend, always a dope fiend. Oh, she'll be back out there getting high. And it was hard at first, but I had to find positive things to do. Like when you frustrated, you always got to find something negative to do. When I get frustrated, oh, let me go give me some dope. But I just continue to move forward. I enrolled in Beauty and Barber College to get my license, just to do something positive and not sit around, not be negative. It was one college that turned me down. Okay, this one turned me down, next. And I just had to keep going forward. I couldn't let what put me down stop me from moving forward. And that every day just going helped me out a lot and kept my mind on a positive frame on not smoking crack no more. And then I continued to go to Narcotics Anonymous every day. And I was going to church on Sundays, and I did it for like 18 months.